Eazy.
And he wanted me to say it to him though. Easy, that's the type of dude he was with. He was like, man, let me hear it. I'm like, nah, I'm not finna do that, bro. Like, nah, I ain't doing that. He kept pressing me until I did it. And then he was like, you cold blooded, man. How you gonna come up in my spot, man? And you just the type of way you feel about me, right? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Today's podcast is brought to you by one of the absolute best real estate agents in the Cleveland market, Tom Sugar with Howard Hanna Real Estate. Tom's here to help you understand the home buying and selling process. He's here to ensure that you're also always going to get the best price, whether you're buying a home or whether you're selling a home, and his customer service skills are top notch. Give Tom a call at 216-406-2841. That's 216-406-2841. You can call or text him or visit his website, shugsells.com, SHUGSELLS.com. Visit Tom Sugar, everybody. He is the best.
So do you think it's kind of interesting that I did go to Compton
oh, for sure, man.
for a podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it give you another perspective, you know? Like, it's one thing seeing something on TV. It's another thing to be up close and personal, and you'll get a,
Right.
different understanding about why. Because, a lot of times when people prejudge people, they have no idea about the background of those people. And so you just see the behavior and you don't know exactly where it comes from.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're there on the ground floor and you get to experience it from there, then it'll help you understand them a little better, you know?
Going down there was obviously crazy, but I don't feel like the Crips and the Bloods are as at least those guys, everybody didn't seem as brutal with each other. Like, there was not like a ton of beef.
Yeah.
But I feel like back in the day, there's no way those conversations would
Oh,
ever happen.
yeah, bro. Times change things, you know what I'm saying? And that's, for that lifestyle, it's fortunate. But, yeah, it never was like that before because I was telling some people the other day, when I was a little kid, the Pyrus used to try to come and kill us like grown men because they didn't want us to grow up. You know what I mean? They used to smoke PCP. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, for real?
yeah, bro. They used to, like, PCP was the drug back in those days. And these dudes would be off of that shit, and they'll come to my neighborhood. We'll be on big wheels and bikes. And they would literally try to kill us because they didn't want us growing up to be Crips.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
And vice versa. It happened on their side as well. That's how crazy it used to be. That's when people, like, if you had a red shirt walking in the wrong place, somebody would just come up and kill you, and you wouldn't even understand why. Like,
And that was, it was as simple as that.
yeah, it was simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, like the boundaries was that, stark. You know what I'm saying?
Was
like
that a thought that went through your brain and through your head every single day when you walked out of the house?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, yes, that's the reality, because you've already lost people around you, so it's very real. You know.
How many people do you think that you've lost in your whole life?
I can't even count. I stopped counting a long time ago, to be
Really?
honest. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we've lost friends before we was 18. Like from our elementary school, bro. Like before we even graduated high school, I can say about at least 13 or 14 people.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. See, in my high school, it was drugs,
Yeah.
right? Like heroin.
Like overdosing and shit like that.
Yeah, everybody was pretty much after school. A couple people died during my high school years, but the ODs were huge. But I grew up in a neighborhood where, somebody getting shot was just, I wouldn't even,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
yeah.
happen. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a thought. I know you grew up in Compton, but give me just a little bit of background on like what you'd like everybody to know about your upbringing and where you really come from.
I mean, I grew up in Compton. I lived in between Compton and Watson. They're twin cities. They're neighbors, neighboring cities or whatnot. When I was young, we, the typical story. We was poor, underprivileged or whatever, but I didn't really know because, I was just a kid, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know what we had or didn't have because everybody I grew up around, besides very few, was in the same condition as me. So it was like, but it was fun. Like we were adventurous. We was always outside. We would ride our bikes to 3 and 4 cities, you know what I'm saying, over.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of things like that. But I did experience a lot of things that I shouldn't have at an early age. Seeing drugs, seeing people use drugs, seeing people die from drugs, seeing drug deals. You know, drugs was being sold at my house, out of my house. You know, like these two guys used to sell drugs out of our house, bro, and we were still doing bad, which didn't make sense to me. Like when I got older, I was like, yo, you know what I mean? Like,
How
cause
do we
when I
not
was
have
young,
money right now?
exactly.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, looking back on it, I recall one day playing outside in the backyard, and I seen a mountain of drugs on the table, like a big old, you know, now I know what it is.
Yeah,
but
of
it's like
course.
a big old white mound of drugs on the table, and I'm like, yo, my mother's still struggling to get the food that we need to, you know, pay certain bills and things like that. And, you know, the older I got, I was like, yo.
There's always money for drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always money for drugs.
But these things, that's what I'm saying. The guys who were selling it, you know, they were so well off, and we were still doing bad. So it was just like, but all those type of things, man.
It's hard not to idolize that, though, when that's what you're looking at, and you see the cars, and you see the money,
Right.
and you see that, like, when you're growing up around that, you end up being, no matter what you're brought up in, and
Absolutely.
especially in that
Absolutely.
situation, right?
Absolutely. Very few people escape that, man. Like some people, for whatever reason, I don't know what is, you know, what you would call it, but there's very few people that deviate from their upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
From statistically of how they should have been. But usually the majority of the people succumb to it because it's really all you literally see.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. I mean,
yeah.
And for you, especially it being a negative thing.
Absolutely.
Right? Like death. Like it's crazy to think about everybody that was in Compton, especially during that time. I mean, you're just, at the end of the day, you're just survive.
Just survival.
That's
yeah.
it. Just
That's
survive.
It.
And you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
At what point did you meet Eazy E?
I met Eazy E in high school. When I was in high school, you know, I started rapping in 1986. So around when Boys in the Hood came out, when it was still underground, it wasn't like on a major release. It was just like tapes and things around Compton. And once I heard that, and I was so impressed by it, and I was more impressed that he was from Compton. You know what I mean? Like, cause we didn't have anything that I knew of at that time, being like 11 years old. Like somebody that I can look up to in a positive light.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Course,
like,
of course.
And so like I was really like impressed by that. And then I start mimicking his rhymes and things like that. And then whoever else I can get my, you know, whatever tapes I can get a hold of, I would mimic their rhymes and replace their words with my words until I learned how to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it happened for me. And then in high school, I guess these two guys that knew us since we was little, they come from the drug trade. You know what I mean?
Of course.
They come from the drug trade. And unfortunately, the way the drug trade is, when you're on a certain level, across state lines, people know each other because, you know, once you make so much money in one city, you got to expand. You know what I mean? And so these drug dealers back in those days, they would have these different parties and things to where they rubbing shoulders with other guys from other cities. And what happens is when certain people start becoming snitches and informants and things like that, that thing starts to trickle down to everybody slowly but surely. And I believe this is just my conclusion. I believe these two guys probably was hearing some things and they was trying to get out. And so, you know, Eazy E is their friend, you know, let us try something, you know, something legitimate that could still keep us with the same lifestyle. So they end up pulling up on my street. My brother Drayster, he was in Youth Authority, which is like a junior prison.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a reputation, you know, for being a great rapper and stuff like that. And one of the guys he was in there with was one of these guys' nephew. So when he came home, he's telling them about my brother. And then naturally we lived in the same area, so they pulled up in the neighborhood and was like, "Hey, won't y'all do something for us, man? We heard y'all rap and stuff." So when we rapped for them, they was like, "We'll be back tomorrow, man, to take y'all to the studio." They didn't say with who.
Right.
You know, but I was home for a long time. Drayster was gone. I was used to people telling me these type of things, so I didn't take them serious. So they came back. Drayster, he fresh home from Youth Authority. He was home. He ain't had nothing else to do. So they ended up going to the studio with Eazy E. He came home later one night and was playing me music that he had with Eazy, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What?
Like, whoa.
Yeah, of course.
Like my idol, you know what I mean? And so the next time that we went to the studio, I stayed around this time, and then I went in there.
You're probably waiting outside that bad boy.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
have
just
been.
sitting there looking at him like, nah, I can't believe this. Because I never knew how tall he was. Eazy was like 5'4", I think. Something like
for
that.
real?
Yeah, he was a short dude. So I'm just sitting in there like, damn, this Eazy E walking around the studio, man. Like,
Oh shit.
I'm just starstruck, so I'm quiet. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to make no noise. I'm just in there, just like, and nervous and all the shit. You know what I mean? I'm 17.
I would have been really nervous about
Yeah.
that. 100%, dude.
Yeah, bro.
It's easy,
so,
and especially when it's your idol, when it's someone you've been wanting to meet, someone
absolutely.
that and when you're in that same space as far as being part of the music industry,
Absolutely.
and then having that had to have been incredible.
Yeah, yeah. It was crazy. Like right now, I can still picture it to this day. You know, the dudes, man, who brought us to him, man, they so cold blooded, cause they knew a lot of things about me. And I had I don't know if you recall the Rodney King situation when with the police and things like that, and Eazy ended up sponsoring the cop who went against the other cops.
Oh no way!
So he was doing it for publicity. You know what I mean? It was publicity for him. You know. So anyhow, I remember seeing this on the news, and that made me so angry. You know what I mean? Because the mentality I was in at the time, you got this young 16, 17-year-old kid who's grown up in Compton and have a bad experience with the police, and now I see my idol, supporting one. I'm like, nah. So I ended up writing a rap when I seen that against him, right?
Yeah, because you're not about that at all at that time in your life. That's totally different mentality.
It was totally different mentality. So boom, these guys knew this, and they told him about it while we're in the studio. They telling me to say the rap for it. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. I'm not finna tell this man that.
Yeah, of course not.
Man, so
especially it's Eazy.
And he wanted me to say it to him, though. Eazy, that's the type of dude he was with. He was like, man, let me hear it. I'm like, nah, I'm not finna do that, bro. Like, nah, I ain't doing that. He kept pressing me until I did it. And then he was like, you cold-blooded, man. How you gonna come up in my spot, man? And this the type of way you feel about me, right? I said, bro, you told me. He was like, okay, so he said, let's do this. He said, I'm gonna roll up 20 joints. And back then, this is what the Chronic. Remember the Chronic album, Dr. Dre?
Yeah, of course.
So we had this weed in California. It was called Chronic, and it was orange and really sticky. Like you couldn't even keep it lit.
I know, you're trying to bust it up, stick it to your hands.
Yeah, sticking to your hands, and you got to keep lighting it. Like no matter what, you got to keep lighting it. Anyhow, he rolled up 20 joints, and he only smoked the licorice papers. You know, the dark papers. Them the only zigzags he smoked. He rolled up 20 joints. We went and sat in the hallway of the studio. And he was like, I'm going to smoke half. You got to smoke the other half. And we got to like 7, and I tapped out.
Damn, dude, 7 though? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I tap out like by myself after like 1.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. Like halfway through, I'm like, we're there.
Yeah, I had a high tolerance back then though, but because I literally, bro, I think the first time I ever got high, I had to be like 2 or 3 years old because that's the type of shit our parents did.
Yeah,
like our
really.
Parents, they was, coming from the 70s, the hippie
But
shit.
they were just smoking the house.
Yeah, smoking in the house. Like they would only do it when people come over. So, like black houses back then, you couldn't be in the living room only when company come.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Really?
I swear. You cannot be in that living room, bro. And they would only have people in the living room is when they're entertaining company that comes over.
So where are you supposed to, like, is that like why all these movies are based in people's bedrooms?
Probably.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
something.
They're not hanging out in the living room. Yeah, that's for sure, now that I think about it.
I don't really understand it myself, but that's just how they were. You know what I mean? And so I just recall being little and like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie JoJo Dancer with Richard Pryor or not. But like if you noticed, if you ever seen that movie, their family all come over, they all in the living room, and they drinking, they talking, and then they'll have the little kids to come and perform.
Yeah.
Dance and sing or tell jokes or whatever. And so that's how our people were back in the day. And
would you get in trouble if you were in the living room?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
you only can
theoretically, you just wander in there and sit on the couch.
Yeah,
you're just not doing that.
Unless because like in our house it was like drinking and smoking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So naturally, you're not supposed to be in there unless they call you. So when I was little, they used to call us in there and blow the smoke in our mouths. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
God,
sometimes,
really?
Yeah, bro.
That's
and then they'll have us high, and we in the living room dancing and bouncing off the walls and shit.
No shit.
So that's kind of how that's how I became, a weed smoker, to be honest. So now as I'm growing up, I'm looking for the roaches in the ashtray now. Like, you know what I mean? When the adults sleep, I go find a roach, and I'll go make a crutch. I'll get the match back, tear it off. You know what I mean? And I'll go behind the house.
You're good
I
to
might
go.
call my homeboy, you want to hit this? And now I'm smoking weed.
That is fucking
hilarious,
hilarious,
seriously, bro. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So what was the first song you made with Eazy?
Real MF and G's is
Real
the real.
motherfucking yeah, MF and G's. That song.
That song is the first
That's
song.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how hard did you pop off after that? I mean,
Oh man, my life changed, bro. Once that song came out, cause the video came out first, and that's how usually back in those days, that's how things were launched. The video would come out before the song actually, to promote it or whatnot. And back then we had the Box Video channel, the Music Box channel,
okay.
where people can order the songs up and just play them as many as times as they wanted. And so, bro, that shit went #1 on there. And I was still in high school, and I tried to go back to school after that, bro, and it was like pandemonium.
I believe that.
I had to stop going.
Did you go to Compton High School?
No, I went to Jordan High School, David Starr Jordan.
Okay.
On Alameda and 103rd.
This is going to sound like a ridiculous question, but do Crips and Bloods go to the same school?
Well, this is around peace treaty time, so we did have Bloods actually at our school.
Okay.
So this is when the 92 peace treaty that we had in L.A., all the Bloods and Crips, the majority of the Bloods and Crips came together to squash all the stuff, you know what I mean? So around that time, Bloods did go to our school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't last.
Yeah, it didn't last. It lasted, how long did the peace treaty? Like 8 years? Yeah. Lasted pretty long. Longer than I thought it ever would.
Really?
I never thought it would happen, to be honest, but,
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, for that song to go crazy, that was you, Dresta, and
Eazy,
right?
Yeah.
And that's just still
bro.
Classic.
Bro. I'm talking about that song took me all over the world. I didn't been to like 19 or 20 different countries because of that song.
You used to have cornrows.
Yeah, I had long hair.
Yeah. What year is that?
93.
That's 93.
Yeah.
And at what point do you get arrested?
I get arrested in 97.
You get arrested in 97.
Yeah, 97, something like that.
So fill in that gap, 93 to 97 before you got arrested. What happened in that space?
Okay, so 93 to 97. So Eazy died in 95. So from 93 to March of 95, it's pretty much touring, studio. We'll be home for a bit, doing things at home, and then it seemed like that time is like a blur because we was gone a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Was the road hard on you?
It became that way because fucking rock stars, bro. Like we out there drinking, smoking, having sex with all these women, and trying to be professional at the same time. Like that shit was, it gets to you.
That was probably awesome though, dude.
Yeah, it was.
So many chicks probably just for no reason.
Like you can't understand. Like just imagine this little ghetto kid. Now I'm doing these amazing things. With these amazing people, and I'm coming home trying to tell people, and they just like they looking at you, but they can't grasp it. You know what I mean? Like no. Like girls are snatching you off the stage. Like women are just telling you they only want to give you fellatio. They don't want nothing else.
So they're just like women just come up and are just like, I want to fuck right now, and that's it.
I never experienced nothing like that in my life.
Awesome.
It was Jesus. Nah, I mean I thought it was too back then, but it was the craziest thing I probably experienced. Like one of the craziest things I probably experienced in my life.
So Eazy apparently catches AIDS at some point.
So they say.
Yeah. And he gets sick. He dies. Did you see him in the hospital?
Yeah, of course. Like the way it happened, bro. So we're actually by this time we was in a contract dispute, right? A little bit before these things happened with him. We were in a contract dispute, and we trying to figure out how to get out of this contract and get from under these people.
Yeah.
So the guys who was in a contract stuck to were the two guys who brought us to Eazy. They had a subsidiary. It was called Toenail Records. It was called Toenail/Ruthless. Eazy was going to allow them to have their own label under his label. Okay. And so in between time, they end up falling out for whatever reason. They were friends. They grew up together. In between time, they fall out. Now we're stuck in a contract dispute. They're not getting along. So we had to figure out how to keep going on as artists, And then we ended up signing to Def Jam through a subsidiary of Def Jam called Outburst Records. If you ever heard of Domino, the rapper Domino.
Yeah, I've heard of Domino.
This is the label he came out on. And the same guy who put out DJ Quick, he called Greedy Greg.
Okay.
So we ended up signing to Def Jam Records. And now me and my brother are working on our album, but Eazy is we still rocking with Eazy, even though we're not under his label anymore.
Right.
So we working on a song as a response to the Dog Pound called Dog Pound Killer.
Yep.
And Eazy is supposed to be on a song. We're in the studio when Eazy lungs collapse. Like when he gets sick and he can't breathe, it's just me, him, my cousin, and the engineer in the studio. And what happened was some artists, you know, because the studio is like, even though it's a studio, it's almost like a kick-it spot too. So a lot of artists will pop in and pop out. So while I'm in the back, I'm not knowing the artist is pulling up and talking to him and stuff because I'm wondering why he's taking so long. So I went in there and tried to interrupt him like 3 times. The last time I went in there, he was on the floor wheezing, couldn't breathe. And they went and got his inhalers and stuff like that, and he was trying to use them. And just over time, he progressively got worse and worse and worse. And then I went and told his bodyguards, like, you guys got to take him. And they came and took him. And then I believe like 9-10 days later, he was dead. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild, especially. But he never knew he had AIDS.
According to what I know, no.
And symptomatically speaking, he
didn't show no signs.
I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with the symptoms. I'm not familiar.
Well, I'm familiar. I seen my little father pass away. He was a drug. I mean, you used heroin and stuff like that. So from sharing needles with people, I seen him, his father go through that.
Yeah.
So I kind of seen how it was for him. And Eazy didn't go through none of those things. Yeah.
It really makes you wonder.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes you wonder. And then Suge Knight's comment on
exactly.
That
see what I'm saying?
It's just odd.
Do you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, it's just odd.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that, and I don't
agree with it, but I know Suge had something he was privy to. You
For
understand
sure.
what I'm saying? Like it was something he knew, bro. Not to say that he had anything to do with it, but I'm just saying he was privy to some information because
Suge was super ignorant.
He was very ignorant,
I say that more so because to go on national television and even
say
imply,
something like that, right?
Even as
that
a
was
joke.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's
for
just
sure. Because if it was true, you know, it could have came and haunted him in the end. Think about it.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know, bro. I really don't know, and I really.
It's amazing
made
though.
Peace with it.
But it's amazing that they're going so that they don't investigate that at all. They don't talk about that at all.
Right.
But they're still sweating Tupac's murder.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
You know, but they haven't even thought about Eazy.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. It put a dark cloud over his legacy. You know what I mean? Because that subject is so taboo and nobody really wants to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it's like, man, Eazy is responsible if you think about it. We wouldn't have Eminem. Think about it, because Dr. Dre come from NWA, right? Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have 50 Cent. A lot of things we wouldn't have.
The list is
huge, and this is all a result of springing from his legacy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He had the money. He started the label. He got the people together, and he told Dre and him what to rap about, what he wanted to speak to the world, even though he couldn't write it, you know. But he assembled the team to make that music, you know. So, yeah. And the only thing I want is for his legacy to. I want him to get his just due, man, because just don't hear enough about him. We hear about all these other people. You know, we talk about Pac and Biggie like they're greater than Eazy. I mean, not to me. Like, not that their music is not great, but Eazy, you know, come on, man. They wouldn't be here without Eazy.
You respect the business side of things, I think, too.
Yeah.
In comparison, you know, I also feel like Eazy, I don't know, he was just so different in his style.
Oh,
yeah. His sound was just so different.
It's the most unique voice I ever heard, bro.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like, nobody who projects a sound like that.
Yeah.
And he was just the type of person, bro. Like, you just had to meet him to know, man. Like, Eazy was a cool, down to earth. Like, he would have the same clothes on for 3 days. He never, he lived in mansions and all that, bro. And it was like, he didn't really give a shit about none of that shit.
When you said that, like, you know, his, like, legacy was tainted a little bit, do you think the movie portrayal part specifically where he's, like, you know, weighing out weed and shit, like, I know you had said in the past
that was something that's definitely not a true representation, and that weed thing was something we was doing all along. Eazy smoked weed. He was a connoisseur of marijuana. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he would have because we had a house that we had. You know what I'm saying? Well, it was his, but the house, it was like a kickback house, like this Airbnb. It would be
Right.
something like this. And when we're not on tour, this is where we'd be at, smoking our weed, messing with women, whatever we were doing. And he would have trash cans, and the trash cans you use for like 3 or 4 of those full of weed, bro. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Full of it. We'll
So
just
it
go.
was never
We used to just get to go in that shit and dig our hand in it and fill our bags.
Yeah. So there was never like that conversation of like,
Hell
hey, who's gonna
no.
go grab the weed? It was
Bro,
just there.
come on, bro. Yeah, that shit is. I don't know who thought of that, and I think that's one of them Hollywood things that they try to add to a story to make it more movie-like. You know what I mean? But that was some total bullshit.
I felt like they definitely shouldn't have done that to make it more movie-like, simply because I felt like that was more of supposed to be a documentary type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it wasn't per se, but it was definitely portrayed to be that.
Yeah.
But I think I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, so when you were in the hospital with Eazy and saw him, was he like in good spirits, or was he just feeling like shit and it was just an ultimate decline of health and like a very rapid
It
period?
wasn't no decline of health. It was a lot of worry in his face. And then I'm gonna say after a couple days, we weren't even able to see him anymore because of the frenzy that was at the hospital with people, press and things like that trying to come, fans and shit. Now they know where the hospital's at, so it was a lot going on. So eventually they had moved him into a different room, and only certain people knew. So it's like everybody else thought he was still in this one room, but he was actually on a whole nother floor. And the last time I recall seeing him, he just he looked worried. You know what I mean? Because I think he thought he wasn't gonna live, or he didn't know. It was just all news. It's like
If you had
I
to
can't
put your
imagine.
money, if you had put your money on Suge Knight having something to do with it, what would you say?
I'll say no. I
You
would.
don't think so?
Nah,
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I'd say yes. So if we ever find out, we'll find out who's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back a little bit to, I mean, we talk about no one talking about Eazy E's murder, and Tupac's murder obviously has always been a big topic. You were friends with Baby Lane,
Yeah.
Orlando Anderson,
Yeah.
which I think was really cool. I guess my real only big question on this is, how soon after Tupac's murder did you see him? Was it uncomfortable for you, or you already knew how kind of things already went down in Vegas?
It wasn't uncomfortable for me because I just know how things go, like where I come from. You know, being from a gang, man, like back in those days especially, was some serious stuff. And there was nothing you could do to one of us without some repercussions. You know what I mean? So that was normal. I didn't trip off of that. The fact that Tupac's name was involved, that was a shocking thing because I was like, damn, like.
Did you know Tupac?
Nah, I never met him.
Okay.
But you just as a fan, bro, like his first album that came out, I was in foster care and I went and bought it. You know what I mean? But I was just a fan of everything about this guy. And I'm like, damn. But things like this one person is my friend. You know what I mean? And then when I seen the video of all these grown guys kicking him with fucking, hard sole shoes and things all in his face, bro, I was like, that shit made me mad, to be honest. And back then I was wishing I was there with him. You know what I mean? But I think I seen Lane not long after this, and I'm only going off of my memory. You got to think this is 1990, 96 or 96. It was 96. So as my memory serves me, he came to my house one morning, and he was like, "You seen the news?" And I'm like, "I just woke up, man. Waking up looking at the news." He was like, "Bro, these people crazy. They trying to associate me with this and that." And then now I see the news after that, and I'm just like, yo, I'm like, this shit is crazy. You know what I mean?
I think
crazy shit.
I think as like a friend, it's like, and especially the code that you guys live by in those gangs. I think it's ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous.
It's ridiculous to think about. It's scary and it's wild, but it's what it was.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting that recently here in Vegas that it was Keefe D's house
Yeah,
that was
man.
raided. So I mean, you wonder what he knows or what he's got going on. But wasn't he given immunity at some point to
This is
tell the
what I.
story?
This is like I heard some type of tape. I heard some type of recording where yeah he's supposed to had I don't know what the agreement was called that he made with the police down in Los Angeles, and I heard the fact that now that he lives in Las Vegas and the crime happened here, that it didn't cross state, that whatever
Believe
agreement
that.
did it doesn't count in Las Vegas for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And I just think him doing all these interviews, bro, and saying all this shit, bro, and not understanding the repercussions, not understanding Pac have a lot of people that really love him.
Yeah.
He got some of the craziest loyal fans on the planet, and I just think it was wrong for him to, he should have let that shit stay where it was,
That's it.
and he'd have been okay. But from what I heard, from what people are saying on the internet, see, all this internet stuff is kind of crazy. But from what people are saying, like he was selling things. Like he was supposedly selling things related to the crime, something like that. I don't know, bro.
If you're selling things related to the crime,
But it's all bullshit.
You're
But
an
they
idiot.
didn't know. You know what I mean? So
so like, he was a pretty well-respected Compton OG, right? I mean,
yeah,
or was he like, because I mean, all the
I
interviews
respected him at one time. Because he
Okay.
was my friend's uncle. It's like if I come to your house, this is your uncle. Naturally, if I respect you, I'm gonna respect your family. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in that sense, you know what I mean. I don't know him for being nothing other than like they used to call a baller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get
Something
it.
like that back in those days. I was around him because of my friend, but I don't really know a whole lot about him like that.
Yeah, I get
But
that.
I knew him and I seen him. I knew his brothers and everything like that.
I don't think he should have done any of the Vlad interviews that he did. I've watched a lot of those.
Yeah.
I found it to be interesting, and then if you watch the interviews, he catches himself up in lies every time he talks.
Oh man, I didn't show my boy right here several things
It's
about how
unbelievable.
yeah.
It's unbelievable. He goes back and forth, and he'll say one thing, and then he'll get caught up in it, and now he's got no choice but to just continue because
Yeah.
going back once you got to the point where he's been going.
That was like at one point he claimed he didn't know me, and he was like, I don't even know him.
I
He's
know.
a rapper.
I saw that.
And then he came back on another blog and then said, "That's my little homeboy." Like this dude, like make your
Yeah.
mind up, bro.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, people on the internet started liking him. I guess he started reading the comments, and I guess he wanted to be, the new internet sensation. I don't know.
Yeah, he's about to be Las Vegas' newest prisoner if he fucking
Yeah, he better
keeps
be
it up.
careful.
Yeah, I can't believe that, but
Yeah.
that wasn't surprising that happened in the sense of who it was, just because of the conversations that have been occurring over the
Yeah,
past.
for
I mean,
sure.
it's been like a year, not even probably.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something crazy. So Eazy passes away, but you get locked up.
Yeah, I go to prison, man. It was like some crazy stuff, man, and I done made peace with all the people that was involved with this. But yeah, it was a vendetta. It was like, so one guy in my neighborhood, one of his brothers ended up dying at the hands of another person. Now, naturally, this person, he's out for blood, and he was trying to harm the other guy's brother now, because now this particular person is who actually quote unquote did the crime is in jail. So now he's out for blood from anybody in his family. One of my cousins was tight with the other brother, and so one day they was walking to the store or whatever, and this guy, he seen him, he pulled up, jumped out, shot him,
No shit.
and this is my family. So when I come to the neighborhood, when I'm coming up the block, I just see all these people in the street, so I'm like wondering. Now I get there, people running up to my car, they tell me what happened. I didn't even stop. I just kept going because I heard who it was, and I went up. I put up on their block, and I jumped out, chased people, did my thing. I came back around the corner, and the police came like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Damn, they were quick. They were quick. The one time they're quick.
Yeah, they were in the back seats of the police car. The other people who was out there.
No shit.
So they looking for me. I happen to have a candy apple green 5.0. So I had the loudest car in the neighborhood. So they looking for this green. So they looking for this green car, but I was trying to be smart. So one of my friends have this long driveway. So I made them move all the cars out, and I drove mine all the way up, and made everybody block me in. And so in order to see my car, you would literally have to get out and go try to, And this is what the police did. They came, they was looking, and they walked all the way back there. My car was there. They put their hand on my hood, and it was hot. So they was like, oh, he just had to be driving his car. So they was like, anybody don't want their tire code? And I'm in the other house across the street watching them do this.
Yeah.
So they thinking I'm at that house, but I'm really in this house. So while they over there, the police coming, more cars. I just ran out this back door, started hitting gates and walls, and so I got all the way away from the scene. And I actually ran on a crime for like a year and some change.
Wow.
And
How'd
then
you get picked
eventually, well, being on a run is a mug. I don't know if you ever been, but
I've never.
But
no.
it's fucking.
I've
like,
a couple overnighters, but
no, but it's like it drives
you
you crazy, bro. Because every time you encounter law enforcement, you think they know you, like, you know what I mean? It makes you crazy.
You're
a little.
fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're constantly paranoid.
So
probably.
after all this time of going through this and not having, I kind of I didn't have. They took my car, so I didn't have a car. But I end up eventually going to buy another car. I just got tired of having people to pick me up and all this shit.
Oh, I get so frustrated.
Then I went and bought another car, and I swear, probably 2 days later, I was in Watts by the school I went to in the projects called the Jordan Downs, going to see my brother and some of my family. And coming out the house, the police came out of the projects, and they threw their light on us. You know what I mean? So we in two cars, they car behind mine. So I'm thinking, it's more guys in this car. Maybe they'll pull them over.
Yeah.
I'm in the car by myself. So boom, they end up letting them go, and they got behind me.
No.
So I pulled over, and I never turned my car off, and I'm just like, yo, I don't have a license. I don't have an ID. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm in this gang territory. Like, nothing good can come out of this, right? So I'm just looking in the rear view, and I'm like, I don't know. They on the thing, like, turn the car off. And I'm like, nah. Yeah, high speed chase. So,
I would have stopped either. You're already running for a year and a half.
Yeah, high speed chase.
Fucking ride that bitch into,
So we flying up these one way streets the wrong way. You know what I mean? Hitting these dips. It's rainy. This is during a rainy season in LA. So it's puddles of water everywhere. I'm in a 5.0, and then the one way streets are the T sections where you gotta like make a total stop in order. So when I get like probably halfway, my car back tires lock up, jump the curve, hit a church, boom, have a wreck. The police wreck behind me, and I'm in the car dizzy for a minute. I chipped my tooth on the steering wheel, so I'm in the car dizzy. I try to open my door, it's stuck. I kick it, boom, boom, jump out, and now the foot chase now.
Yeah, you gotta keep
moving.
moving.
I ran until my legs literally gave out. Really? Like I swear to God.
You were. Like that's probably the greatest adrenaline rush ever,
yeah, it was crazy, bro. Dogs barking in this neighborhood all fucking night. I'm hiding in a tool shed, but that's on the ground. It's like a makeshift tool shed that these people built. I just it was on the ground, like, so it's got a latch like this. You pull up, it's just rake shovels.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I rolled inside that shit because I really was crawling. My legs gave out, honestly. So I crawled in the shit. I'm laying on all this shit. And now I hear the helicopter come.
Oh, the worst,
helicopter
dude.
come, and it hovers in it because the dogs would not shut the fuck up. And that's really why the police like knew I was still in that area. So I see the helicopter, see through this little bitty crack. I'm like, fuck, this helicopter up there, like shit. And so I guess they looking, the infrared, they looking for body heat and shit. And I swear, bro, they left, because I guess they only have a certain amount of time where they could actually be up. So they actually left, and they must have went to gas up. Because they pulled off, and then they came back. I was starting to fall asleep. I was gone so long.
No way.
Yeah. But then I hear the helicopter again, so it woke me back up. I'm like, fuck, these people would not stop looking for me. And then I guess they just went house by house, process of elimination, until they came to the house I was in.
And they found it.
They found me in that damn shed, bro, and they beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
They were so mad because they wrecked their car and shit. I heard the sirens go, boo. Because they
like that. Like that.
So they was fucking mad, and I ripped my hand right here on the gate. The first gate I jumped up on, I guess my hand got stuck in something.
Oh,
so I just ripped it off. So I
was
was bleeding and everything. I didn't even know. I didn't feel none of that shit.
Because the adrenaline's just cooking.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you were.
So I was on. Yeah.
And it was an attempted murder charge.
Yeah.
And you did 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years and 4 months. Yeah.
What's it like being in jail for 10 years? And what is your mentality when you first get that sentence?
Yeah, the mentality is you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's like the hardest thing to come to grips with, bro. Because you know the craziest part about it all is like it's like I was doing everything to get there,
Yeah.
and then when I actually got there, I didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? And that's the experience for most people, especially when it's your first time. You know what I mean? Facing a life sentence and shit like that. You know, you adapt to the situation over time. It's like once you spend some time there, it becomes normal to you. You know what I mean?
Which is scary, I bet.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's weird to think about, but you already know what to expect once you're there for a while. So it's like you just adapt to the situation and handle it.
And that was originally you were facing a life sentence.
Yeah, like
What they
I
give
believe
you?
17 to life.
What'd they give you?
I took a deal actually, a
Oh, did
plea
you?
bargain. Yeah, I plead out. Because the case was flimsy as shit. Because the people who initially made a statement, they all changed their statements and things like that. But some people actually skipped town, and so they was looking for people like to subpoena and things like that. And some people who got subpoenaed skipped town, and then they end up finding them like 9 months into my case. And then like it just kind of made it. My lawyer was like, once they found these other people, they brought it back to a 50-50 thing.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It becomes not worth the risk.
Nah, it wasn't worth the risk.
Especially with as corrupt as the system is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just got off probation, so you know. Yeah, like, and you know how it is. It's meant to keep you in the
Absolutely.
system.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. Like, you do the smallest thing,
and they'll take you in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'll keep this
thing.
trail on you. Yeah. It sucks, man. Like, you know, if I known any better, man, I would have never got caught up in that. So I'm using the restroom. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually on the toilet. I'm taking a shit early in the morning, bro. My cousin run in the fucking bathroom with the cops behind him.
Oh.
Because I guess he was trying to run and flush it. You know what I mean? But I'm on the fucking toilet. The police, the door busts up and boom, the police right there. I got a whole ounce of cocaine in my pocket.